Day 45. About to get this workout going. All right, that was day 45. I burned 511 calories. Lace took a nap. You can see her. Say hi, baby. And we're about to go get some pizza. Maybe we'll watch a movie or something, hang out, and we'll see what happens. So, see you guys soon. How are you?
Good.
Today is, you're tired? You guys hear the sirens? I feel like we live in the hood.
It's probably an accident, don't say that.
Yeah. Today is day 46. I'm tired. You guys can't hear Lace, but she's sitting down behind me, so. Hi, Lace.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Tired?
Yep.
Why?
I don't know.
Yeah. You got homework?
Yep.
Same. All right, well, we'll see you guys. Alright, that was the end of max recovery. 317 calories. About to eat, get some homework started. Lace is asleep, I'm about to wake her up. She can get some homework started, and we'll see you guys. It's late, it's like really late. It's 12:48. I'm wrapping up some homework, well, a lot of homework. Really big final that's due. I waited way too late to start at this, but I've been really busy, as you guys know, with a whole bunch of other things. I'm gonna get this done. This is due by 5 p.m. As long as I don't sleep, I got time, and I'm still gonna try to squeeze this workout in, so we'll see what happens, but if I don't get it, I hope you guys understand. It's 3:47 a.m. This workout is not getting done. In a perfect world, I would say I'm gonna do both of them today, but in a perfect world, I'd be getting sleep right now. So might have to shift everything one day back. Might have to double up one day. It's not an option for me to skip the off day because I'm at my job that day and I'll be at work late. We're gonna have to figure that out. But this final is like most important thing right now. Notes for next semester. Do not wait until the last minute to do this stuff. All right, guys. So my final is uploaded. Most of my stuff for work is done. So I have a story. I took my car to get an oil change today, and I normally take it to a particular dealership. They were like booked up for like months on out. So I took it to this other dealership. I only take my cars to the dealership. My logic is that they do things the right way. When I was like growing up, I couldn't afford to take my car to the dealership. I always had like a used car. Now that I can afford to get a service at the dealership, and I'm aware people do like sketchy things, right? But now that I can afford to take my car to the dealership, I just take all of my cars to the dealership. When it's time for Lacey getting oil change, I'm like, just go to the freaking dealership. So I go to a different dealership today. It was the only one that had availability. I booked it like last week or whatever. And so I get there, and it's a standard dealer, and they're trying to sell me stuff, and I'm like, this is weird. Like, do you want a cabin filter? Do you want this filter? Do you want an engine filter? Which was like weird. Like, whenever I go to the dealer, like, they never try to like sell me stuff, you know? So I'm kind of like, okay, it kind of like turned me off, but I was like, okay, no. About an hour later, they call me, they leave a voicemail. They're like, hey, give us a call. We need permission to do work on your car. And I'm like, what do you guys need permission on the oil change for, right? So I call back. I'm like, hey, like, this has been blah, blah, blah. They're like, oh, yeah, we were calling because your oil pan plug, like the threads or something like that are stripped. So when we pulled the plug out, we couldn't put the thing back in. I instantly go 0 to 100. I'm like, I don't know what you guys are trying to do. You guys are scamming me. I'm like, I always take my car to the dealership. I've been going to blah, blah, blah dealership for the last 6 years. This is crazy. I've never had any problem with it. And rightfully so, the lady matched my energy. She's like, you can come pick up your car and take it to the dealership. I'm like, okay. So put my car back together and I'm gonna come pick it up. She goes, well, if we put your car back together, we can't, she's like, you can't drive it because you can't put the plug in. So I'm like giving this lady the blues. I'm like, listen, put my car back together. If I come up there and pick my car up, I drop my car off, it was running. I expect my car to be running when I get there, right? Like, my mind is, I'm at a different dealership. This place is trying to rip me off and get money off of me, blah, blah, blah. So the lady's telling me, like, it's like $700 to fix this and do that. And I was like, lady, I'm not giving you a dime. Like, put my car back together. She goes, well, you're going to have to get your car towed. So I kind of like, I feel myself like getting to that. I work in customer service. Like, I do not like to be that guy. And I kind of like had this moment and I was like, just chill out. So I was like, you know what? Let me call you back. So I kind of like sit there for a minute, kind of like try to center myself. So I call her back like 10, 15 minutes later. I'm like, listen, walk me through exactly what's going on. And by now I had like Googled exactly what she told me. She's like, the hole is stripped, or the threads are stripped in the hole. She's like, so we have to replace the threading or something like that. I was like, okay, I just did some research. It says you can put a bigger bolt in there. She's like, well, that's the thing. Like, we can't put a bigger bolt in because this isn't the original bolt. She's like, this is the largest size bolt that can be put on here or whatever. So I'm like, okay, I was like, so now I'm like, maybe this dealership's not trying to rip me off. Maybe the other dealership just wasn't honest with me, you know? But of course, it's like, if they did that without telling me, then it's their responsibility. They're going to keep it up. They're not going to tell me that they broke it, right? Because if I took it to the other dealership and they're like, hey, we broke this thing, I'd be like, y'all the only ones who've been working on the car. So it just so happened, you know, the time that I take it to a different dealership is when this bolt just can't go back in or whatever. So I'm like, all right. So the lady, I'm like, listen, I'm like, I need you to kind of walk me through. And I tell her where I'm frustrated. I'm like, hey, I always go to this particular dealership. The one time I take it to somewhere else, you telling me, you know, it's not repairable or you can't do the original job. She was super kind about it. She's like, I understand. She's like, but listen, this is kind of, it is what it is. You tell us to fix it or not. She was like, I can't put your car back together, but it's going to be more damage if you try to drive it. So I'm like, okay. So I was like, what do you suggest I do? I'm like, I was like, if I was a family member of yours and I had this problem, what would you tell me? She's like, well, it really depends on how much time you have. She's like, if you have time to, you know, to kind of like play, she's like, I will get the car towed over there and, you know, tell them, hey, you guys did this and this, whatever. I was like, I don't really have that kind of time. I was like, okay, listen, I don't have $700 for an oil change today. Like, I'm just not doing it. I was like, what's the best you can do for me? No, actually, but before I said that, I was like, you know, I was like, hey, listen, I was like, whether you can help me or not, I should have never snapped on you like that. Like, genuinely, I'm sorry. Like, no excuse, right? I was like, hey, I didn't get any sleep last night. Like, the first thing I hear is that my oil change is $700. She's like, I understand. I was like, listen, what's the best price or what's the cheapest way we can get this fixed? Because I'm just not doing that. She's like, let me look into it, blah, blah, blah. She calls me back like 10 minutes later. She's like, hey, I can do it for $350. I'm like, oh, say less. All right, easy. I'm still annoyed, right? Still trying to like process like the fact that I'm getting ripped off. Because like I said, like my whole thing is the dealership's honest. Which honestly, I don't know. This place could be ripping me off too. Both places could be ripping me off. I don't know. But it's just, I had this like feeling that this lady was being genuine with me or whatever. Which like, the mechanic could have been ripping me off. Maybe the mechanic broke something and she's just doing her job. She don't know, you know. So, long story short, I was like, hey, you know, whatever price, $350 is fine, thank you. You know, I want to bring you lunch. I was like, hey, I feel extremely bad. Like, and I would have done this even if she wouldn't have came down on the price. Like, I was like, hey, I feel extremely bad. I never should have treated you like that, you know, like, and that's how I really, like, in my job, I preach work culture and I talk about respect. And I just felt really convicted. Like, I'm the one, you know, screaming at this lady Monday morning about a problem that has nothing to do with her. She's like, you don't have to buy me lunch, but, you know, I accept your apology. I deal with this all the time. I was like, I understand that, but, like, this is not the kind of person I am. I feel very bad for that. Like, I felt so bad. I was almost in tears. I felt so bad. Like, I was really ashamed of myself, you know. She's like, well, if you want to bring me lunch, I'll do a meatball sub. I was like, all right, I can do that. So I was out, doing my homework and stuff, doing my work stuff. Picked my car up, dropped her off a meatball sub, picked my car up. Lady charged me like $210. I'm like, I can get jiggy with that. I talked to her for a minute. Super nice lady, man. So I think like let that be a lesson. Like, just treat everybody with respect. You never know what somebody's dealing with. And, that lady would have been well within her rights to be like, you know what? Come pick up your car. I'm not dealing with this, And then I'd have really been SOL, So, yeah, just make sure, like, when things get really, like, frustrating, when you feeling yourself getting to that point, it's okay to take a step back and be like, give me a second, because I want to treat you with respect, but I don't have the capacity to do that right now. So I'm gonna step back from the situation. I'm gonna call you back. Let's talk later, On another note, I didn't do Insanity last night, and I'm like, I feel like, it's not that I feel bad. I'm like disappointed in myself, but also I literally did not sleep last night. So like, it's only so much I can do. Part of me is like, let's try to do 2 workouts tonight. And the other part of me is like, probably not the best idea because we didn't get sleep. So we'll see what happens. I might just have to push it back a day, but it is what it is. I'll keep you guys posted. Today is Thursday. Last time I worked out was Saturday. Sunday, I was doing homework all day. We left church really early. Did we take a nap Sunday?
I think you did, because that's the day you stayed up all night.
Yeah, I took a little nap Sunday. Stayed up all night Sunday. Like, I got like 40 minutes of sleep. And then Monday, I had a huge final due. Monday night, I was at my other job like all night. Tuesday, I was at my other job all night or all day. We had like a new installation there. And then, so I didn't work out Monday because I was at the job late. Tuesday, I was tired. Wednesday was a day off, and today's Thursday. So I'm 3 days behind. Not 4. Sunday, Monday, Wednesday. Today, I'm 4. So that's not as bad as I thought. Today, I'm kind of just celebrating. Like, we got our wine. Grab your wine. We got wine. Finals are over. Semester's over. For me, they still got class. So I'm kind of just like, whatever. But I'm back at it tomorrow. So I will pick up tomorrow. Not much. Next week is Thanksgiving. Holiday things. We're setting up for Friendsgiving this weekend probably. We'll post videos and stuff for that. And maybe a football game Sunday. Maybe. We'll see what happens. All right. We'll see you guys.